Hello, you're here with Miss Libby Rose, and today we are going to make a bell shape aromatic festive hanging. First of all, we cut out our shapes. So I've got the bell shape and I'm using one of the Christmas Hobbycraft fat quarters. So I've got front and back, and I lay the shapes with the right sides together, so the good sides are on the inside, lay them, and I pop some pins in. Then if you take some tailor's chalk and you want to make a mark where you're going to leave your hole. Now, if you've seen this one that I've made earlier, I've got a ribbon for the hanging. I've got a ribbon for the hanging plus a bow there, and that is where I've left the gap. Now the gap is for turning it through to the right way, popping the stuffing in, plus attaching the ribbon, and then I just put a bow over the top to cover up any stitching bits over there. So I've put it on the side, just so that's quite a nice way for the bell to hang. You can put yours in the middle or on the side or wherever you like, but make that decision now so that you can put your chalk mark where you're going to leave that gap. Pop your pins in, and then you're ready to stitch around the outside. Now, if you leave quite a small seam allowance around the edges, so about 0.5 if you can, and you just want to stitch all the way around the edge, and if you just line up something, part of your foot against the edge of the fabric, you shouldn't go too far wrong. Now, if you find yourself going a bit off-piste, just pop your needle in, lift the foot and turn to get yourself back on track again. And once you've stitched the whole way around your shape, this is the bell that we're doing, but once you've stitched all the way around that bell, we then go to the hole that we left and turn it through. So you're going to shuffle that all the way through. And for these makes, what I've done is got some chopsticks. Now these are going to come in handy with a lot of the festive makes that I've been doing. So for this one, it's helping to push it all through. So you can use the end of the chopstick there to push it all through and to get the little ringer bit at the bottom of the bell all the way out. So we're just turning all that through. And then we've got that shape ready. So the next step is to pop some stuffing in. And what I've done to give it a nice aromatic smell, so it smells like Christmas, I've got my just regular Polyfill stuffing, and I've got a little bottle of Festive Christmas spice, it's called, so just some little oil, and I've dropped that in to my stuffing, so that makes a nice smell, and I push that around. And what else you can do is get yourself some Christmas herbs, so the type of things that you probably use in mulled wine. So you can pop some cloves in there, some star anise. I've crushed up the star anise and put it into a jar, so that then I can just attach that into my stuffing. And actually I've got some cinnamon bark as well. So I've got some cinnamon bark that I've also crushed up, and I'm popping that into my stuffing too. So this will really give a nice festive smell. And then you can start pushing that stuffing in, and what you want to do is get it all the way down to the bell ringer bit at the bottom. Okay, so all the way down to this ringer, down, 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 and then to the corners of the bell. So all the way down and then into those corners. So push it all the way down. Once that's down and in, so once you've got to the furthest away then you can just just push in the rest to bulk it out. So once you've got all the way in the bottom, right the way down into the ringer, to the edges of the bell, and then you want to bulk out the rest of it. Some people like it really stuffed, so it's a nice big full bell, and some will just put a few bits of stuffing in. That is totally personal taste, so that's up to you. So now that that's all in, I then get my ribbon. So what I want to know is the length of the ribbon. So it'll go, so I want to know how long the ribbon is for my hanging, and that again is personal. So all that stuffing's in, then I get the ribbon. Okay, I want mine that long, but again, personal taste. So you can pop that in. So now you've got the ribbon in, and you can just stitch across to close up the hole and to attach the ribbon. Do a fair few backwards and forwards there, so it's nice and held in. So you've got it, if you've got it hanging on the tree or hanging at home above the fireplace, it won't fall out with any dodgy bits of stitching. Right, so that is the main part of it done. And what I want to do now is to attach the bow on the outside so that that just covers up any messy bits of stitching. So to do my bow, I've got a nice big long rectangle, and again, personal, how big you'd like your bow. I just fold that in half lengthways, and I'm going to go around, 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 leave a gap in the bottom and around, okay? And that gap in the bottom is where I'm going to turn it through. And if you leave it in the middle, that's where the wraparound will be, and you won't have, and that will just cover it up, so you won't have to stitch over it. So I go around the edge, a nice small seam allowance, all the way around the edge. Leave my gap in the center of the bottom. And do your backwards and forwards to finish. Then open up that hole and turn it all through. Push, push, push. Again, your chopstick could come in handy to push that through, especially if you've left a super small hole that I've just done. So I'm through, 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 through. And then you've got a nice square, and so now you've just got this shape right way round, and you're squishing it in the middle to turn it into a bow. So you could use a little bit of ribbon there, or a little bit of excess fabric or anything, just to twist around that middle, and then you attach that over the top of that exposed stitching, and then you've got your finished product. And if you wanted to, you could hang long bits down if you wanted it to have a bit of hanging there too, or just attach it on as it is, and you could stitch that through the machine like that, and then you've got a lovely festive hanging. Here's another one that I've done, looks lovely. Okay, enjoy, and if you do have any questions or comments, don't be afraid to pop them either down below this video, or pop me an email, or on the Facebook, or the Twitter, or the Instagram, or any of those things. And I look forward to our next festive make. Okay, thank you very much. Bye for now.